Your brain is a high-speed survival machine that never stops auditing your value. And right now, it thinks you're losing the only thing that kept your ancestors alive. Imagine you are at the height of your power. Maybe you're standing in a room full of people who respect you, or you're finally winning an argument you've been having for weeks. Everything feels secure. Then you feel it. A tiny, sickening click at the back of your mouth. It's a sensation so subtle you almost miss it until you reach up to touch your jaw and your entire front incisor slides out into your hand like it was never attached to your skull. You try to speak, to ask for help, but the moment you open your mouth, more of them follow. They begin to tumble out in a wet, heavy rhythm, clicking against each other like falling dice. Within seconds, your palms are overflowing with the white, bloody shards of your own jaw. But the horror doesn't stop at the pain. You look up and realize the entire crowd is staring at you in a heavy, suffocating silence. You desperately shove your hands over your mouth, trying to hide the carnage, but the blood is leaking through your fingers, staining your clothes. You feel a wave of paralyzing shame wash over you. You imagine trying to smile, but all they would see is a dark, hollowed-out cavern where your strength and health used to be. In that moment, the dream isn't just weird, it's a social execution. You realize that without these tools, you are biologically bankrupt. You wake up gasping, clutching your jaw, and the first thing you do is run your tongue over your teeth to make sure they're still there. This is one of the most common and terrifying nightmares in human history. But why? Logically, this makes no sense. You live in a world of modern dentistry and soft, processed food. You haven't been in a physical fight in years. You have a safe home and a secure supply of calories. So why is your brain obsessed with this specific horror? From an energy standpoint, nightmares are a catastrophe. They ruin your recovery and spike your stress levels. In the ledger of natural selection, a trait that causes this much unnecessary suffering should have been deleted long ago. But it hasn't been, because your brain isn't interested in your peaceful night's rest. It's interested in its own ancient dominance alarm. Today, we're decoding the Nightmare Schema and why your brain thinks a bad day at work is the same thing as losing your ability to survive. Welcome to Logic Schema. To understand why your brain treats a toothless mouth as an emergency, we have to look at what teeth represent in our biological blueprint. For 99.9% of our history, humans didn't have the luxury of multi-tools, blenders, or even effective knives for most tasks. Your teeth were your primary survival hardware. They were your scissors, your nutcrackers, and your shredders. Imagine a specific scenario. It is the middle of a brutal winter. The tribe is huddled together, surviving on the last of the dried, rock-hard meat and fibrous roots gathered months ago. An ancient hunter reaches for a piece of bison jerky, their only source of protein, and as they bite down, a molar snaps with a sickening crack. The consequence is immediate and social, not just physical. Suddenly, that hunter can't process the calories needed to maintain body heat. But the real fallout begins the next morning. In a world where they had no private life, every member of the group sees the hunter struggling at the communal fire. They watch as he tries to soften his food with water, his face twisted in pain. The hunter feels the shift in the group's energy, the subtle withdrawal of respect. By day 3, when the tribe moves to a new camp, the hunter is no longer at the front of the line. He is at the back. He overhears the whispers. The tribe's collective brain is calculating. They see a liability who consumes precious calories but can no longer contribute to the high-stakes hunt. This is why your brain is terrified of that click. It's not just about the tooth. It's about the eyes of the tribe judging your worthiness to survive the season. Teeth were also the last resort weapon. Before we learned how to hunt giant animals from a distance, our ancestors relied on their jaws as a secondary defense system. To your brain, a toothless human is a defenseless asset. The moment you lose that hardware, your survival probability drops to near zero. Your brain is running a hardware diagnostic, and it's terrified of what happens if you fail. There is a deeper, more social reason for this nightmare. In the wild, your physical health was the only true currency you owned. A human who was visibly losing their teeth was signaling to everyone that they were aging, diseased, or weakened. Your teeth were essentially your public health report. Strong, intact teeth signaled to the group that you were a high-status, healthy individual who could be counted on in a crisis. Losing your teeth was a signal of biological bankruptcy. It told the tribe that you were becoming a liability. This is the dominance alarm. Your brain evolved a highly sensitive system to monitor your status within the group. But because our modern world has changed faster than our biology, your brain has to translate new stresses into old images. The sudden job loss. Imagine you wake up to an email saying you've been let go. You feel a cold, hollow sensation in your gut. Your modern mind is worried about the mortgage, but your ancient brain is screaming that you have been exiled from the resource-sharing circle of the tribe. It doesn't have an image for unemployment benefits, so it simulates the ultimate loss of resource-gathering power. Your teeth crumbling out of your head, the relationship breakdown. You are going through a messy breakup. Emotionally, you feel gutted and powerless. Your brain doesn't have an ancient symbol for a legal settlement, so it simulates the loss of your bite, your attractiveness, and your social standing through your teeth. You feel the same primal panic of being unwanted by the tribe. The social media humiliation. You experience a public failure, a post that gets mocked, or a mistake that everyone is talking about. To your ancient brain, this isn't just internet drama. It feels like the tribe turning their backs on you in the middle of a hunt. It searches the Logic Schema and pulls out the image of your teeth falling out in front of a crowd. The nightmare isn't about your mouth. It's a status audit triggered by any situation where you feel small, weak, or unheard. Your brain is using a prehistoric metaphor to tell you that your social armor has a crack in it. It is trying to alert you that you are losing your rank in the modern tribe. Have you ever wondered why you always remember the dream where your teeth crumble, even when you forget every other dream? It's because your brain wants this specific data to stick. This nightmare is a neural hijack designed to use intense, visceral physical sensations to make sure the message is received by your conscious mind the moment you wake up. But why run these drills while we're asleep? During deep rest, your brain enters a state of social simulation. This is the only time your internal systems can run high-stakes drills without you actually moving your body and hurting yourself. Your brain chooses the night because that is when it processes social threat data, decoding who is an ally and who is a rival. A waking daydream is too easily dismissed by your logical mind. You can tell yourself, it's just stress, but a nightmare? That feels real. It forces your heart to hammer and your palms to sweat. By running the teeth falling out drill in the dark, your brain ensures that you feel the full weight of the panic, making you hyper-alert to social threats the moment you wake up. You are forced to confront the fear of being defenseless before the day even begins. It is the sentinel of status, and it never sleeps. This raises a logical question. How did ancient humans stay clean if their teeth were so vital to their status? Did they just let them rot? The answer is no. Prehistoric humans were obsessed with dental health because they had to be to survive disease. They used chew sticks from specific trees with antibacterial properties to scrub their teeth, and they used their tongues and fingers to clear debris constantly. But we don't have to guess. We have the archaeological evidence. At various dig sites, archaeologists have found human remains from the Stone Age with teeth that show clear grooving. These grooves weren't caused by food. They were caused by the repetitive use of bone slivers or stalks used as toothpicks to clear plaque and prevent infection. We even see evidence of prehistoric dentistry. Researchers have found teeth where infected areas were intentionally scraped away with flint tools. They were willing to endure the agony of flint scraping to avoid the greater catastrophe of a lost tooth. They even used natural resins, like birch tar, to pack cavities, fighting off the bacteria that could lead to lethal systemic infections. They understood that a broken or rotten tooth was a doorway to death. This explains why the nightmare is so violent. Your brain carries the memory of millions of years of ancestors who knew that a healthy mouth was the only thing standing between them and a slow, agonizing death in the wild. So, the next time you wake up from the teeth-crumbling nightmare, don't be annoyed at your brain. You're just listening to a 50,000-year-old survival expert who is checking your biological report card. Your brain isn't trying to scare you for fun. It's running a high-speed status audit to make sure you're still strong enough to thrive in the tribe. What should you actually do when you wake up? Don't just ignore it. The bite back reframe means checking your status in your real life. Your brain has flagged something real. Are you letting a coworker walk over you? Are you staying in a relationship where you've lost your voice? Are you ignoring a social leak where your reputation is being damaged? When you wake up, run your tongue over your very real, very solid teeth and say, "The hardware is fine. Now, let's fix the software." The nightmare is a call to action to reclaim your power and fix whatever part of your life is slipping. It's an ancient alarm telling you it's time to regain your bite and stand your ground. The nightmare isn't a glitch, it's a dominance alarm. It is the invisible force that reminds you that your physical and social strength are the keys to your survival. We are the species that survived because we were obsessed with our ability to bite back against the world, both physically and socially. If you want to dive deeper into the hidden biological systems governing your daily life, make sure to subscribe to Logic Schema. We are decoding the human blueprint, one glitch at a time. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a search for the truth. And remember, if your teeth start to crumble in your sleep, it just means your brain wants you to reclaim your power. Thanks for watching and stay curious.